Yes, here we are. A very warm welcome to all of you at this webinar hosted by Amodo on telematics applied safety for numbers. Well, this is obviously a slight pun because you normally speak about safety in numbers, but that is true too. So this afternoon we're going to talk about numbers of lives saved with the aid of telematics. And not being affected by accidents is maybe even more important than making the business numbers. But we're going to talk about making the business numbers in insurance too. So more on that much later from our two great speakers that I'm delighted to introduce. I'm Connie Dorstein and I'm your DIA moderator today. Our host guest is Marian Munchidev, founder and CEO of Amodo. And I actually met Marian quite a few years ago at DIA, and he immediately struck me with his incredible passion for the telematics topic. And it was so big that it filled the entire stage. And so delighted to be able to sort of be with you again today, Marian. And 8 years on, Amodo has implemented projects in over 30 countries, which leads me to our next guest, Anna Zovko, Chief Digital Officer at Croatia Osiguranje. She's nodding approvingly, you know, we've practiced on this. With a background in telecoms, anything digital, literally, innovation, disruption, and high speed, they're all part of her profession and passion. And you will feel this come through as we go through the afternoon. More on you, Anna, later. So, Marian, before we dive into your company, Amodo, give me a brief sort of history lesson on telematics and how you came so excited about it that you wrapped your entire company around it.
Yes, thank you so much, Connie. Well, I strongly believe that we, an insurance industry, we embarked on a journey of Internet of Things and big data. But this time when we are talking about the big data, since insurance companies is anyhow built on a big data, we are talking about different data, personal dynamic data rather than the static demographic data. And this new set of data collected with the help of Internet of Things enables new services, new category of personalized usage-based insurance products and completely new business models for the insurance industry. And now when the technology comes that can have such a impactful disruption to the industry, it cannot be not exciting. So that's really one thing that, first of all, we have seen in the telecommunication space. This is also one thing that connects Anna and myself. This is one thing that we have in common. And coming from the telecommunication industry, we already had an opportunity to experience how the connected world can have a remarkable impact on the society as well as on the industry. And now we see that same impact is coming to the insurance world. And this is generally also how Amodo started. I was working in the telecommunication industry as an advisor to a couple of executive boards of different European telecommunication companies, where my role was to explore how telecoms can benefit from Internet of Things technologies. And during those couple of years, I came to realize that one industry in particular will be disrupted by the IoT technologies, that being said, clearly insurance space. So when the couple of opportunities started to appear, come on the table, one of those was also to purchase a majority share of the small connected cars initiative at the time. I used that opportunity, bought a couple of inactive founders and turned the company into an insurtech player. So that's pretty much how
When was this, Marian?
2015.
2015, yeah. And so how many colleagues do you have now around the world?
We are around 50 people now, 100% focus, exclusive focus on adoption of telematics, implementation of telematics technology in the insurance industry.
I'd be delighted to bring Anna on board, the customer, the insurer, and the end customer. We're also going to bring into this debate. And welcome, Anna. But because before we dive into all this digital stuff, tell me a little bit about your company and its place in Croatia and the European Union.
Thank you, Connie, for this warm welcome, and I'm really happy to be here today. But before I tell you a little bit about our company, let me tell you a bit about Croatia. You know, for me, Croatia is the most beautiful country in the world. We have amazing mountains, lakes, islands, you know, everything top notch. We have very nice and ambitious people, around 4.5 million of citizens, and on which we are extremely proud of last couple of years. Many digital startups that placed actually themselves on the worldwide map are coming from Croatia, and one of them, of course, Amodo as well, you know. And then a little bit discussing about my company, Croatia Osiguranje. It is the oldest and the biggest insurance company in Croatia. We are the market leader, more than 100 years old traditional company. But, you know, as a market leader, we have a responsibility towards the market, towards the industry, and towards driving the change and innovation constantly on the market. And, you know, when we look back in 2019, with all these startups that I mentioned rising, especially digitally on the market, and many other industries actually playing along the way with the European countries, we look at the finance sector and especially insurance sector in Croatia, and we saw that we are extremely lagging back from, for example, Central European countries. So insurance industry in Croatia was extremely traditional, with very, very small steps of digitalization in that time. On the other side, you have the clients and the customers that were asking, you know, us, okay, you know, I can buy shoes online, I can purchase goods online, I can do whatever I can do online. Why can I buy policy online, digital policy, you know? And then we saw, okay, these two things, as a market leader, we have a responsibility to do that. And we decided to launch a fully digital brand, 100% digital brand, which is named Lako. And we actually did it in just 10 months from the scratch, from the blank paper. And the last year, beginning of October, we actually launched the Lako. We are now around 8 months on the market, 8 to 9 months on the market. We constantly put some innovation products from the launch, but one of the biggest products, and that we'll be talking today, is this Lako Prevent, which we partnered with Amodo, and we are extremely proud of this product.
Yeah. Now we're going to talk about that. But, you know, let's take a look at what you just drew out to us. We do have a short video this time, yes?
I think we do, yeah.
And we're going to take a little bit of a look at your company and feel your brand.
Although shopping is increasingly done online, the insurance industry in Croatia hasn't truly reached the global levels of digitalization. Until now, as a part of Croatia Osiguranje family, leading insurance in Croatia, we've created a new digital brand, Lako, the first 100% digital insurance in Croatia. MTPL and Kasko Insurance are the first products Lako has introduced to the market. We got rid of paperwork, replaced branch offices with web and mobile application, and created a product that respects time and habits of modern users. Following the trend of usage-based insurance, we designed Lako Prevent, an engagement program that aims to prevent traffic accidents by encouraging responsible behavior. Thanks to telematics, users are able to track how well they drive. The program evaluates each ride based on speed and driving style. A good grade is the result of responsible driving. On the other hand, speeding, sudden acceleration, braking and cornering, or using a cell phone while driving reduces users' rating. To make driving even more enjoyable, we have prepared a number of games and challenges in which the best drivers can win prizes. Safe and responsible driving can also be fun. Based on advanced technologies and gamification, Lako Prevent stands alongside the world's best solutions. The first results have confirmed that. In just 4 months since the brand launch, Lako website was visited by more than 667,000 users. Insurance rate web calculation was started more than 93,900 times. 50% of Lako users are active mobile app users. More than 30% of app users are active Lako Prevent users. 75% of claims were solved via Lako mobile app.
Wow.
Yes, wow.
Yes, indeed, wow. And I say a double wow because we had a conversations before we kicked this off, and you've done this in an extremely short time frame. And I get it, you know, driver safety, of course, is an immense problem everywhere, but you say it was particularly prominent in Croatia. What was the sort of, if we go back, the real core objective? Because, you know, why did the company want to invest in this? Because it is something new to sort of take the preventative step.
You know, as a fully digital brand now and 8 months alive, we are still young, of course, but we saw that we are rapidly changing the insurance industry and the way how the people are interacting with the insurers. But, you know, on the other side, if you are just an insurer who is selling policy and paying out the claims when they are happening, then you are just an insurer. And we didn't want it to be that. You know, we wanted to give to our society, especially to our clients, something more. We wanted to be responsible, you know, and when we talk about clients, they are really, really, really in our DNA. We are really, really taking care of them. On the other side, currently at the moment, we are selling only car insurance products. With time, our product portfolio will change. That's definitely, and will increase. But at the time, we are selling only car policies. And then we said, okay, what is natural for insurances to prevent accidents? You know, to work on prevention. When the damage happens, it's too late. Let's start working something on the prevention. So basically, what we want, because we are a digital brand, we wanted to use technology for that, you know. And then, of course, Amodo, being a Croatian company, me and Marian met on DIA actually 2019. Now we say, okay, let's sit down and let's see what we can do, you know. On the other side, when we look at the statistic of Croatia, you know, we are very ambitious people, very nice country, very smart people, but we are extremely bad drivers. We have the lowest rate in European in terms of accidents. You know, we have young people involved in these accidents. People are speeding up. People are using their cell phones, you know. And when we saw, okay, you know, this is the opportunity to give something to the market, to give something to society. And with Amodo, we together actually developed the concept, which is Lako Prevent. And what we hope and what is our vision is that at the end we can say, you know, Lako clients are really, really good drivers. They are actually preventing accidents on the road, and we are doing together as a partners with our clients some great cause.
Yeah, and you say, you know, like over 30% of the people who bought your policy have now entered into the program and are using this preventive program. Are they primarily younger people, or is it literally across the board of your policyholders?
So the average age of our customers is around 40, 39 to 40. And of course, we have young people, we have older people, but some mid people are our clients. And in terms of Lako Prevent, actually everybody is using it, both Lako young people and both older people.
Yeah. And what was your sort of marketing messaging to convince them to also go for the Lako Prevent option?
Yeah, so in terms of, you know, this kind of program, it's a couple of things are important. First, you know, when you look at the telematics solution in insurance are actually what they are doing. If you are using telematics and you are bad drivers, your policy price will go up. Yeah. If you are a good driver, your policy price will go down. We say, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to link this program to our policy. We want to give this technology for free to our clients, because together we want to prevent accidents. And actually the result, I think it's the same as the old way, because preventing the accidents, this means less stress for the end client, because he doesn't have the accident. And of course, you know, we have less claims as the insurer. So the win-win is on the both sides.
And of course, since
yeah, and then since we invested a lot in this technology, it's not a cheap technology, it's expensive technology, and we gave it for free. The program is completely for free for our clients. We said, okay, let's do branding for this program separately. Let's do a huge national campaign. We had a TV campaign, offline channels, online channels. Let's promote the safety road through PR activities, So we wanted for the country to feel that somebody is actually, taking care of this important topic.
Okay. Well, no, I think this is great, Anna, and I'm actually so pleased to meet people who design social responsibility into the DNA and the products of their company, rather than just talk about it in the annual report. And let's keep this slide up because we're going to talk to a few of these points later on. So, Marianne, Marianne's disappeared. What we're going to do, Anna, whilst we're waiting for Marianne to come back, why don't you talk us a little bit through sort of the various bits of the screens and the functionality?
So the only condition to enter the program is that you are a LACO customer, so that you bought a policy with us. So basically, we have two digital platforms. First is the web shop, where you can buy the policy in just a few clicks, and you can do it whenever. In 2 a.m, if you are, want to buy a policy, you can do it. And it's really, really easy and simple process. And what we wanted to do, that customers are actually giving us data, only the data that they know from their head. No policy numbers, no huge, information that they don't know. Just a simple information for buying the policy. Once you buy the policy, you download our app. It's a self-care app. And then you can do the administration of your documents. There you have everything. Your policy, your green card, whatever you want, And one part of this LACO application is the LACO Prevent program. You actually enter the program completely for free. These are the screens that you can see. They're very modern with nice colors. These are our branding colors. And the first screen is actually the dashboard. You can see this 84 number is the overall score of this driver, and then all the other screens are actually the details of your driving behavior. How much you speed, are you using your mobile phone, etc., etc.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. Marianne, if you go on mute, that's marvelous. I can hear you now. So. You guys met up at DIA in 2019, and now you're together here at DIA Virtual. How did you respond to this very aspiring business objective, Marianne? When, what was the project journey like from your end? I mean, how did you meet up? How did you, help Anna convince the board to do this?
Actually. Can you hear me, Connie? Just to confirm.
Yes.
No problem.
Okay. I can hear you. It was really a different journey than I would have to say, but every customer has a specific journey without any question. Nonetheless, with the Croatia insurance, it was again different, and it was different because we were dealing with the people that have a very rich background in the telecommunication sector. And simply the culture that was brought in from the telecommunication sector was very, I would say, enriching to the traditional insurance culture. And always, varietas delecat, as they say, the variety of different cultures can only make a benefit and enrich the environment. And so was the case with Croatia Insurance, because talking with the telecommunication executives, we were finding ourselves in a situation where communication was going much more smoother, because they had a really good understanding of the benefits of the connected industry. They could very easily understand how it could be implemented and applied to an insurance industry, and they could really understand the customer relationship benefits that is coming by implementing this technology in the insurance industry. If I would be comparing these two industries, and I think this might be really a relevant aspect for the audience, then I would say telecommunication industry, even if if you do a basic research on it, is very much detached from its infrastructure. And as the time goes by, this detachment is getting bigger and bigger, where the infrastructure operations is being outsourced to other companies. But customer relationship is always a number one priority. And this mindset of customer focus is something that has been very much brought into Croatia insurance, I would say a couple of years ago. And this made it the whole dialogue around implementation of such advanced technology in the insurance industry much smoother, much easier, much more productive, and to the point, with the benefit for the end user and the customer.
And how when did you first make contact, and at what point could you take the project forward? Was it a long run up, or did it go pretty fast? Because it's not very intrusive, the technology.
It was. What do you mean by that, Connie?
Well, from meeting up to getting the project live, and was it the 6-8 months that Anna was talking about, or were you guys already engaged for a year before that happened?
Maybe I can help with this answer, Marian, a little bit from the client side. From the moment that we started with LACO development, we knew that we want to do something around this social responsibility, and Marian and I constantly met up and we discussed about telematics and their solutions, etc. And these talks were a couple of months. It was nothing obligatory. We just was sitting down and just brainstorming.
No, I'm just asking because a lot of other people who are, as I can see, who are on the webinar, work in insurance companies, and they know that the internal sponsor and sale is often as hard as the external one. So.
Yeah. But development of the brand itself, it took 10 months, and it took all my energy and my team's energy. And having another project like this in the same period of time, to be quite honest, it would be impossible. Yeah. And then we said, Marian and I were discussing, but we said, okay, let's wait until we launch. And then we sit down and really start talking. Yeah. And from that period of time, I would say we started somewhere in November, December, but really, really started to work. And in March, we launched the MVP.
Yeah. And so here's a few questions that have come up in the app from the audience, and I just saw another one coming up. And I can tell you, Justin, the next point is all about your question, but I'm going back to the previous one because they're all project questions, and you might not be able to give definite answers, Anna. But questions are coming in like, did it lead to cost reduction in the car insurance segment? And would you be happy to share some of those percentages? But also, having a digital brand, do you have to have less direct sales staff? Did you increase the percentage, the market share in your motor insurance portfolio? How did it impact the loss ratio? So can you give a few of those, Anna?
Okay, so I need to say we are an extremely young brand. We are just 8 months on the market. We even don't have a year, a full cycle in front of us. Regarding the claims, it's still early to say because our claims ratio is still not very stable, but we have much less claims than, for example, mother company. But that's nature, because we are a young brand. Yeah. In terms of sales, we are picking up rapidly. I cannot share with you the exact market share, but we are picking up rapidly. Just to mention a couple of soft numbers. We have more than 2 million visitors in 8 months on LACO Web. Yeah. Having in account that Croatia have 4.5 million people, that means that 50% of the country was on the LACO Web. Wow. We have more than 300,000 times our price engine was actually working. We have millions of views on our digital communication and our videos. 50% of our base is using the mobile application. Yeah. 60% of our sales is coming directly from online. We have some really small call center, because what I need to mention, and I think it's that the guys already picked it up who are listening. since the insurance is still extremely traditional in Croatia, we need to do the education of the market. And then we said, okay, let's introduce a small call center, but not on the phone, on the chat, so they can help with the, educating people how to buy policy online, So I would say that the first numbers, the first eight months are amazing. And for example, if we are not in Croatia, because we are extremely small country in terms of Europe, for example, if we were in Germany or Austria or UK, we would be completely hit on the market.
Yeah. And what was the impact on the team? I mean, were they very begeisterd to do this differently, or?
Okay, regarding the team, when we started, it was 3 of us. Me, my main product owner, and the chief development officer. And then, of course, we had some problems in the beginning, because a lot of people didn't believe that traditional insurance can be changed. We heard a lot of sentences like, no, people in Croatia wants to talk to their agents. They want, have an offline contact, etc., etc. But on the other hand, we were very strict that we need to do it. And the team grew through time. Now it's around 50 people in Lako. But what is good, we have 2 sorts of expertise in the team. The first one are these digital that Marian already mentioned, people coming from telco, from other digital industries, with really open mindset, how digital should work, very simple, very transparent, very, very easy for the client side. And then those, brought some different culture into the company. But on the other side, we digital people don't care about regulations, legal, law, and all this stuff. But in insurance, it's extremely important.
They do.
And then 50% of the team was the experts from the mother company, from Croatia Osiguranje, who actually helped us that our digital vision is in line with the entire regulation of the insurance industry. And this was the key point, I would say, to success.
Yeah.
And the third part of the team was the client. Everything that we do, believe me, everything, the slightest change of the process, we test with our clients or potential clients.
Yeah.
We ask them everything.
Fantastic. What I wanted to know from you, Marian, is what was sort of because you do so many projects around the world, but what was an unexpected or an expected learning for you from this project?
I mean, what Anna said about the customer focus, that is definitely one thing that we have to keep in mind at all times. Because if you are maintaining a customer focus, then your perception on the value of this technology is also changing. Because telematics, yes, indeed, it has been predominantly applied to auto insurance segment so far. However, what telematics truly does, it collects data from customers' smartphones. And this data can be used to enrich a number of other business processes and also a number of other insurance products. So by understanding, by having the customer focus, and this is something, that was conveyed quite clearly from Anna's team from the very early on. Maintaining a focus on the customer on one hand by the insurance team, and having a technology that really uses the smartphone as a channel to collect behavioral data opened up a number of different opportunities that Croatia Insurance recognized very early on, and that we also see is very soon going to become the de facto way of thinking in the industry of how to apply telematics in the industry. It goes beyond auto insurance.
Well, you're perfectly setting the scene for the next point I wanted to talk about with you guys, and we had some questions in the chat about that as well. The future of telematics in auto insurance, you briefly spoke about that already, and I would say, do you think that the approach that Croatia Oranje has taken is about sort of promoting good behavior rather than punishing bad behavior? Do you think that it will further move from, the benefit of price points to good behavior? And and the question here in the app is very much to you, Marianne. What have you seen happening in other countries like maybe Italy or the United Kingdom, which are heavier users of this sort of approach?
I mean, clearly the level of maturity of insurance telematics is different in different markets. Yeah. And there are a number of factors and forces shaping the ultimate result and the condition of the market. You could see how different markets react to data privacy aspect differently. And the perception of the data privacy importance is also shaped by the regulation, by the reputation of the insurance industry in that particular market, and so on. The second important thing in judging the market maturity is also penetration of smartphone technology in that particular market. So we really see that telematics technology is truly a technology, but how you launch a product based on the telematics technology in your respective country is something that is a task of an insurance company, and a very important one, assuming they understand the local market needs, assuming they understand the local customers. And I have seen in quite a few projects that this extremely important, if not crucial aspect of a successful telematics project has been often overlooked. And it seems like many eyes are focused on the technology instead of on the customer, and simply tailoring the technology based on a customer need. And this is a thing of the history where insurance industry was heavily reaching out to consumers indirectly, and therefore there was not as much exposure to the customers as you would see it in the telecom industry. But I see now this is changing on all markets. I see insurance companies want to maintain this customer relationship and understand how to fine-tune the technology to achieve that.
Yeah, but in all fairness as well, that is a feather that I can place on your cap. You're not an insurtech who just whacks a solution on top of a customer. You first listen as well. And I think that is so massively important why in where insurers and insurtechs can work together is in sort of listening and then applying technology, and not having a whack of technology and throw it over an insurer and hope it will magically work. But anyway, we were talking about the future. I really want to know, where do you think telematics will go next? I mean, I can think of all sorts of words: artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, the use of consented data versus metadata. Anna, Marianne, whoever goes first.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, we took only one small part of the telematics currently in our prevention program. We are basically tracking only 4 or 5 things towards the customers or on customers. So basically, we will definitely expand this in the future to have more opportunities, to customers improve their driving behavior. As well as we will be launching new products like health or real estate, insurance, etc. We will definitely introduce the technology solutions for the prevention in this area as well. We are already, for example, travel or travel insurance or many other products. Marianne and I are already discussing how to position and to expand this program. So I definitely see that telematics will have amazing future from now on.
Marianne.
Yeah, from now on is actually what Amodo means in Latin. So I like that sentence very much, Anna.
Yeah.
But what have you got on your mental roadmap for a few years ahead, literally?
One thing. There's a new way how insurance companies connect with the consumer. That's it. It's a new thing, and it's the rules are different. The opportunities are different. It's a complete different business ground, and once you understand all the benefits, because it's not one. When you try to describe telematics and you say it's lower claims, it's one of the things. When you say it's risk prevention,
Well, it's one of the things.
Yeah.
It's a customer proximity. It's cross-selling. It's one of all of those things are just one of the things. And this trend, when you identify that there are so many things different, even the claim process automation, of course, how it can be significantly improved with the available data, is just showing you how different this ground is. And it's super important to understand we are talking about a new channel that we are harvesting, especially with the help of telematics technology, that is going to reshuffle not only products and services and way how we connect with the customers, but also business models and completely new positioning, how the insurance industry can be positioned on the market. Yeah. However, this is not to say, and I'm just like to add additional value by giving this statement to during this webinar. This is not to say that insurance companies are ideally positioned to address this new market opportunity enabled and created by the new technology. We see a lot of new entrants that do not have a baggage of legacy systems, understand the market opportunity, and want to grab it as fast as possible. So I just want to add this into discussion because I think this is a very important accelerator in adopting telematics, but also other new technologies in the insurance industry.
And Marian, you have, and I know Anna is our guest today, but why don't you tell us a little bit of some of the other insurance and reinsurance partners you work with? Because then we can get a broader picture of the deployment of telematics. Give us a few showcases of your portfolio, very briefly.
Oh, okay. I'll take that as a compliment. Of course, first of all, one of our oldest and most established partner on the market is AIG. We work very closely with AIG. We have launched with them in a couple of markets, and we are just now about to launch in one of their biggest global markets. So we have a very good collaboration. They are a very forward-looking customer, and they see the benefits of telematics to a certain extent similar as Croatia Osiguranje. They understand the social benefit and impact of the data that they can share. They share publicly available they share the telematics data publicly on their website so that the community can see what areas of for example, in Singapore are more dangerous, more risky, less risky. And this is also the data that the public administration can use to improve the infrastructure and so on. So there is absolutely a strong potential for the social responsibility in this data, and some insurance companies decide to use it. We have recently announced our launch in New Zealand with Tower Insurance. We have launched what was also one of the most recent launches. That is publicly available information. Anyhow, we have launched in the Latin America as well, in the UK, in the Italy. So our predominant presence is in Europe and Asia, but meanwhile we have launched on all continents.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful.
So
I see
the trend is worldwide.
Yeah, the trend is worldwide. And you also see it now very much, I think, occurring in, let's say, smart city projects where governments work together with insurers to have sort of disaster recovery plans in place when things go wrong. So there's a whole load of deployment. There's one question coming into the app for you, Anna. Do you see the smartphone only as an onboarding unit, or is it more for you?
Oh, it's more. We see that now when we see how our customer interacted with us, they are checking, for example, LACO website. 80% of the visitors are coming from desktop part. But then when you want to purchase a policy, 80% of purchases is coming from mobile phones.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So they are checking, the website probably when they are at work, blah, blah, blah. And then when they come home before the bed or whatever, because we have a lot of purchases at the night, they are buying the policy via cell phone. That's one thing. On the other side, yeah?
No, go on.
Yeah, on the other side, the mobile phone for us is the device for telematics because we are using actually mobile phones as a platform for placing this entire LACO Prevent program. So basically, this is the tool. We don't have this black box on the car that is one side how you can do it with telematics, but we are doing the mobile solution.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. The third thing, a lot of people are engaging with us through the mobile phones. on social networks, on our chats. So everything this is basically coming from mobile phones. So I would say yes, the mobile phones is, they are the most relevant thing for our clients.
Yeah, no, I see that. One more for you, Marianne. For me, it came through loud and clear throughout this webinar that the focus on the end customer rather than the technology is probably the most important play in a project, and Anna has proven that to be the case. If you could give, the participants sort of 3 important elements to focus on in a big project, which 3 things would they be? Anna, you can chip in, don't worry.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you one thing. Definitely, one of those 3 things is not the technology. So, first one already being named clearly is the customer. You need to understand your customers, and I cannot stress this enough, because as much as it comes natural to some industry, I dare to say, to insurance industry comes a little bit less natural than to some other industries.
Well, and less agile often. They have a plan.
Less agile, fair enough.
Plan, but you've got to test and try and test and try and test and try.
I think one of the main historical aspects that influenced that particular industry aspect was the distribution. That is, in the insurance industry, predominantly indirect. And that's simply, a particular aspect of the industry shaping the world we live in today, in that particular industry today. So that's definitely a customer thing. The second thing is the product, because the technology is one thing. Product is a completely different thing. Technology enables the product, and product needs to service the customer you are focusing on, you want to address. So I don't think enough attention has been put on developing the product in a way to harvest all the possibilities of the technologies today. And I think this is where I would definitely advise insurance companies to put more focus on. And once they do these first 2 things, they will recognize what ultimately really is the fact. Technology is meanwhile important thing, but not the crucial thing for the project success. What we see our customers value in Amodo is actually data and the know-how we have accumulated over the years that can help them with the first 2 priorities, customer and the product. How to fine-tune these 2 things. Which customer segment really is more prone to go for the insurance telematics product? And what kind of products can you build? It's not really straightforward, because in some markets, you're only focused on customer acquisition. You will go with try before you buy. In some other markets, you will go with the pay how you drive with the discounted renewal. We have launched pay how you drive that is based on a monthly cashback models. So we support off the shelf 7 or 8 insurance product based on this data, and not every of these insurance products is the best choice for every market. So you need the support in these particular aspects.
Okay. And then obviously, there's very little time left, because I think we all put 45 minutes in our agenda. So I will have one final question for Marianne, and then I'll go finally back to Anna. Marianne, how are you dealing? And obviously you're going to say I comply, but how are you going to deal with, the whole private-public data custody thing? Do you think that, the more scrutiny on the use of personalized data will make it tougher for you to be successful with telematics? So think about the Web 3.0, where we can put it. I don't know, blockchain. It doesn't really matter where you put it, but the data protection is a big key element.
Okay, thank you for that question. Let me put it this way: exchange of a private data over smartphones is very new thing for insurance industry, and so much very not new things for the other industries. So it is new for the insurance. The customers, the users are already used to share their data to obtain product, services, or other benefits from other industries. Yeah. So I just want to contextualize this discussion. It's super new thing. It's a very hot topic to discuss in different meetings and different opportunities, conferences, but it's new for the insurance. And I think that's very important to understand because it gives you the information about the state of mind of the customers. And customers are willing to share their data if they get a product or a service that benefits them in exchange for that data. So I think a regulation in this particular sense is very good. It's important. The end users have to have their concerns alleviated. And this is what, especially in the European Union, GDPR does. Of course, we comply with all of those things. We understand that this is a big concern for the insurance companies. And meanwhile, besides being yearly audited for the GDPR compliancy, we are also the only European insurance telematics company and one of two in the world that has obtained 4 ISO certifications conforming to the highest possible data security and data privacy standards. So absolutely important topic. We understand it's a concern for the insurance industry. It's not a barrier for the adoption of the insurance telematics products.
No, we just have to explain it better to the end user. Anna, finally, because we have run into the wall of time. What is the one thing that you took away from the project that amazed you the best, or that's the best tip, or that you love the most about this whole project? Because you're massively passionate about it.
2 things.
2 things.
I have 2 things. So, and it's actually, it can be for any kind of project like this. The first one is extremely high support of the CEO and board members. You cannot do a transformation like this without their, complete support. So from the moment we start, they said, we believe in you, do whatever you need to do, any obstacle, just say, we will remove it. And this is, I would say, a prerequisite for a successful project in digital transformation. Number 2, no compromises.
Okay.
No compromises. So we draw out the client process, I think 2 or 3 months after we started the project. This client process that we drew out together with the clients did not change at all in terms of simplicity and in terms of the client side. There were a lot of, people who were saying, okay, let's just change a little bit something on the client side. It will be better for us in the back. No way. And this was no compromises. This is the number 2 for the successful project like this.
Thank you. This is a brilliant finish. No compromises and focus
on the client side. On the client side.
On the client side and focus on the client side. Thank you both so much. Thanks, Anna. I mean,
thank you, Connie.
Hope to see you again. We're going to see more stuff. So in a few months' time, we'll see you back.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Marianne. We'll meet again soon. And thank you for a wonderful audience. You stayed with us. You're here today. DIA will follow up with email with more information. You can go and check on the Amodo website. You can check on www.laco.hr. You can follow both companies' adventures and projects on social media and on DIA. The Amodo team will be back after the summer with more webinars and roundtables. So for now, go soak up some sun and energy. Go to Croatia. Wonderful.
Definitely come to Croatia.
Definitely come to Croatia. Take your loved ones for a break. And once you do that, drive safely. Stay safe, stay happy. See you after the summer. Goodbye.